Hello everybody and welcome to the Selangor Mile for 2025, taking place this Sunday on the 20th of July for a stake of 1 million ringgit. Of course, you want to know who's taking part in this year's edition, the inaugural running of the Selangor Mile. So without further ado, I present to you the class of 2025, starting off with the highest rated horse in the race, the top weight, number 1 Antipodean from the Simon Dunderdale stable. Bernardo Pinheiro gets the ride. He's a 10-time winner from the 16 starts here in the country. He had a prolific record last season. Of course, he won the second leg of the Triple Crown Series, winning the Selangor Gold Cup over 1600 meters as well. This season, he has notched up a second-placed effort behind Noah Khan back on the Tunku Gold Cup run. And of course, he bounced back to winning ways earlier this season. But nonetheless, he looks to be one of the horses to beat here and is extremely well weighted. Number 2 is Pacific Victory. This is from the Jason On stable, the first of the On Brigade. Geraldine Xiao gets the ride. He's had 6 wins since moving across to Malaysia so far. And of course, he's stepping up to the 1600 meter journey. He was the winner of the 4-year-old sprint championship over a slightly shorter distance, over 1200 meters. He is the second highest rated horse in the race. And despite stepping up in trip, he is actually a one-time winner over 1600 meters from 2 starts. So he's more than capable of stepping up to the mile and is likely one of the bigger dangers to number 1 Antipodean. Number 3 is Lucky Magic. Of course, this runner starting to gain a bit of traction and a bit of torque from the HY Chen stable. Shafiq gets the ride, and he has won his fair share of Group 1s in his last couple of starts. At the end of last season, he actually won the Penang Gold Cup, followed up a few months later to win the Perak Derby as well. Yes, he's outweighted here with the likes of Antipodean and Pacific Victory, but nonetheless, I do think he's a runner that has plenty of scope for further improvements, and you cannot leave him out in your selections. Number 4 is Valois, the first of the Simon Dunderdale quartet of runners, and Kuratolo will be taking the ride here. He's only had the 3 starts in the country as Valois, and he has notched up the 1 win that was on his local debut run when he actually beat Filial Dragon. Of course, Filial Dragon has won his last 3 starts, and just last week became a Group 1 winner when he won the Perak Gold Vase. So some strong form lines there coming for Valois, and could be an interesting runner, but he is the first of the 4 Simon Dunderdale runners, which we'll touch on in just a few moments. Number 5 is Stop the Water. This is the first of the Richard Lyons runners. He's saddling 2 runners here in this race. Lala de Souza gets the ride. Now, there's been a few question marks about whether he'll see the distance. He's won over a lot shorter. He is stepping up to 1600 meters for the first time, but he does have a pretty good record here in Malaysia so far since moving across from Singapore to the local shores here. He's got the 3 wins in Malaysia, looking to make it 4. But again, 1600 meters, is it a touch too far for him? We'll have to wait until Sunday to see. Moving on to number 6, Eruption. This is certainly a horse to talk about, purely with the jockey booking of Clint Johnston Porter coming across from West Australia to the Malaysian shores. He'll be riding for the Lawson Moy stable. Now, Eruption is an ex-Singapore runner. He's only had the 2 wins in Malaysia so far. This is probably his toughest task to date, and he will need to lift to have a winning chance in this field. Number 7 is War Star. He's an 8-time winner from 34 starts in his career, and this is the second of the Jason On runners. Atmazani gets the ride, and he actually led for most of the way in the 1200 meter 4-year-old championship just a few months ago, and then he faded out in the closing stages. Another runner where the distance is a bit of a query, so he'll have to up his game stepping up to the mile for the first time come this Sunday, the 20th of July. Number 8 is Platinum Glory, the former Macau galloper from the Ricky Choi stable, and he's picking up a nice record here in the country. 5 starts for 3 wins, as well as a second placing. He finished second in the TNI Charity Cup over the mile distance just a month ago when he finished behind Gulf Eagle. Certainly a great effort there, and he'll be running in the Platinum Racing Stables colours, the first syndication ownership here in Malaysia. So it certainly is an exciting time for the owners there with number 8, Platinum Glory. Number 9 is Good Star. This is from the Mahadi stable. Personally, this is a runner that I think has a bit of an outside chance. He's the dark horse in the race for me. Since moving across to Malaysia, he's a former Australian galloper. He's really starting to show his best form here. He's pretty much grown an extra leg and is really starting to show big signs of improvement. He won very impressively 2 starts ago when he beats Kim Emperor, who's facing here once again. And he's had the ideal prep coming into the race, and just watch the replay of his last starts. He was well back in the field, came from a hopeless position to run on into second behind Latin Legend. He's, again, perfect prep coming into this race. He's got a nice weight to shoulder, and I definitely think number 9, Good Star. If you're looking for a horse for the back end of quartets, he's a runner that can certainly surprise. Number 10 is Hype Man. This is from the Simon Dunderdale stable as well, and this gets the ride of Yusuf. He's only had the 2 starts in the country. He won on his local debut run, and it's probably best to ignore that last run. There was a lot of hype about Hype Man in that run, and unfortunately had a tough run in transit, raced wide throughout, and finished unplaced on that occasion. Definitely not the best of him. I think he'll bounce back to form come this Sunday, and expect a much improved run from Hype Man. Number 11 is Don't Forget Boss. This is from the David Cox stable, and HS Gill gets the ride. And now we had the barrier draw on Tuesday, and this is probably the only horse in the field where the draw doesn't really matter too much for him, because we know his running style. He's going to be dropped out. He's going to be given a chance to run at them late, and you certainly can expect a late finish from him. 1600 meters, probably a touch on the sharp side for him. His best form is over even further, so there's certainly no stamina queries here for Don't Forget Boss, and a runner that will be doing his best work late. Number 12 is Kim Emperor. This is the second of the Richard Lyons stable runners. He was a very impressive winner on local debut, and in his second run, he only found one better in the form of Grid Star, and these two meet again here. Very interesting to see how the form will shape up. I know speaking to Richard, he did say that that run maybe just came a touch too soon for him, and they are hoping for a much improved run here from Kim Emperor in the Selangor Mile. He is an ex-Australian runner, and just his third start in the country, certainly more improvement to come from him. Number 13 is Lewin on Feelings, also from the Ricky Choi stable. XC Lian gets the ride, a former Macau galloper. Now his record speaks 2 wins from the 7 starts for a second, as well as a third placing as well. And interesting enough, on his local debut run, he finished third behind Noah Khan. Of course, Noah Khan went out to win the Tunku Gold Cup, the first of the Group 1 races here at the Selangor Turf Club for the year. So a strong form line if you go back to that, but he does need to find his best form to have a winning chance in this sort of field. Number 14 is Shinjuku, completing the Simon Dunderdale quartet of runners, and Casey Wong gets the ride. He's only got the 2 starts in the country so far for second place run, where he was just touched off on the line in his latest effort. He was pretty much a winner for 99% of the race, and then just found one bet in the closing stages. Interestingly enough, if you look at his form back in Australia, he was a Group 1 level performer when he ran in the South Australian Derby. He was unplaced in that effort, but nonetheless a runner that certainly also has more scope for improvements in the country, and will be interesting to see how he shapes up with the lightweight. Number 15 is Red Dragonfly. What a story this has been. He arrived here in Malaysia as a maiden performer, coming across from Singapore, and in his first 5 starts he won all 5 races. Total up now to 6 wins from 9 starts since moving across to Malaysia. A cracking record. He draws pole position in Barrier 1, and also from the CC Oi stable, with CK Core retaining the ride. It is a great combination with the lightweight. I'm sure he's got his supporters, and it'll be interesting to see how Red Dragonfly shapes up here. If this is not just a touch too tough for him, he's a gutsy horse, and he certainly will be giving his best. Number 16 is Elite Boy, and he's completing the field with his Stunner taking the ride for the Richard Lim stable. Now, he was a winner in Australia, albeit though, since moving across to Malaysia, he's yet to have won a race here locally. He's had 3 starts for 1 second and 1 third, looking to open up the Malaysian accounts, and what an occasion that would be if he gets it done in the million ringgit race this Sunday on the 20th of July. Well, that's the class of 2025 for the Selangor Mile, taking place this weekend on Sunday the 20th of July. The field of 16 runners. Who's going to win? Let's hear your thoughts. Share your thoughts and selections down in the comments below, and we'll see you at the races this weekend.